What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journos, Comics and Pop Culture. It is Sunday, September 13th. I got some comics to show off, but before I get into that, I got to give a big rest in peace to my guy, Tupac. It's been 24 years, man, and I know this is a comic book channel, but I had to say something, had to rep. This man changed my life, saved my life in so many different ways. So, big shout out. Now let's get into some comic books. Alright, guys, if you are new to the channel, please take some time to subscribe. I've been pushing out content every day, guys. We just recently hit 2,500 subs, and I got a lot planned for this channel once we hit 3,000. So I'm hoping to get there soon. And man, I'm so itching to get to a lot of this news that I just want to talk about it right now. But I'm holding it in, guys. But so if you're watching, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I appreciate each and every one of my supporters. Now, going into what I have here, guys, this was an in-person haul. I stopped by my awesome little shop, Boys of Summer, in Vacaville, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump ways away, just west of Sacramento. And so, you know, usually I'll make maybe like a monthly stop in there. I actually go to Vacaville to go to doctor appointments for my son. And usually when we're over there, we would stop by and he rate us 50-cent and dollar bins and whatnot. COVID happened. I haven't been in there. So this was a shop too that I was kind of worried about. Like, is he going to have to close his doors? Is he going to survive this? But you know what? I went to take my son to a doctor appointment and said, let's stop by. You know, we put our masks on and went in, and he was there. He's still doing good. So happy to see him in the business, you know, not being extremely affected. And what did I do? Raided some 50-cent and dollar bins. So let's get into it, guys. I'll tell you too what these are. So or where, how much I paid, what bins I found them in. Here's a Wolverine number 52. Start off. This was $1. Look at that cover. Beautiful. All these in the bags and boards here were $1. X-Men Blue 27. It's a really small shop. Here's X-Men Blue number 24. Used to focus a lot more on baseball cards. Over the last 5+ years, he's grown his comic book inventory. Still does baseball cards and baseball memorabilia, sports stuff as well. X-Men Blue 28. But obviously the market, that just goes to show you guys, the market for comic books. Everyone that says, oh, nobody reads comics, nobody reads modern comics, nobody reads comic books anymore, that is a lie. X-Men Blue number 29. These are all dollar books. X-Men Legacy 240. I haven't bought any real solid X-Men books in a minute, especially modern books to fill some holes in my runs. X-Men Legacy 239. Beautiful artwork on these legacies. Yeah, all $1 here. X-Men Legacy, very nice cover. 238. Rogue and Magneto. I like how they're looking in the opposite directions. Look at that, beautiful. Nice. Yeah, $1 for these. Sheesh. Here's $1 Batman. Detective Comics 679. So any Tupac fans out there, let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know if you were alive when it all went down, when you heard the news. I will never forget that day. This is Detective Comics 691. Now, because obviously he was shot the week before, I think everyone thought that he was going to pull through, just like he did the first time he got shot. I remember I had came home from school, because it was a Friday. Here's the Detective Comics 692. And back then, you know, you had your, like, I have my little AWA stereo system, right? How many of y'all had AWA stereo systems? And I remember sitting in my room. I was sitting up against my bed on the floor. And I was listening to KMEL 106.1, which is our like hip hop station in the Bay Area. Well, here's a $1 Bronze Age Action Comics. Action Comics number 458. Yep, I was just listening to some music, maybe trying to do some homework, and then they did a little announcement where the KMEL news person came on at 4:03 and said the news. And I remember right when I heard him come on, I hit record on my tape deck because I had a blank tape sitting in there. I probably still have that cassette tape somewhere. Secret Origins #1 for $1. But it's actually Superman. No, yeah. Secret Origins, the Golden Age Superman #1. Okay. Nice cover swipe. Look at that. I don't know much about this book, but I saw the cover and I was like, yeah. Sad day, man. That was a sad day for sure. Alright, these ones were 50-cent books. This is actually my son picked this one out. Inferior 5 #1. So I got to separate those. That's his. He got an X Factor #1 for 50 cents. It looks like it got damaged in the diamond process. So we probably just put it in the 50-cent bin. My son don't care. He just wants to read the book. Right? And we got Death's Head #1. Again, this is my son. Anyways, man, that was a day I will never forget. And it crushed me. It changed my life. And, you know, Hellcat #4. That's my son's. You know, whether you guys listen to hip hop, rap music, or not, you know, it's tough to deny, you know, his impact for those that aren't familiar with his music. Deceased #6. These are mine that I picked now. If you have never listened to Tupac, I tell people do not make a judgment on his music until you actually listen. His music was like parables from the Bible, so to say. It was like gospels. And, you know, he literally saved my life. Flash 755. And, you know, his music is so timeless, and you can listen to a song and listen to what he's saying, and you can listen to it 20, 24 years later and pick something new out and learn something new from it. That's how deep it was. Here's some New 52 Green Lantern #16. And my favorite quote that I live by, and I say it a lot, I've said it on my channel before, I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. Green Lanterns 28, the Rebirth Run. So that is a quote because when I was a teenager, I went through some really dark times, and that's a quote that I've kind of hung on to. Deceased #5. Love this cover. Love this cover. You know, and Tupac is one of those individuals that was much more than a rapper, musician, actor. He was somebody that that was doing more and that was going to do more. And a lot of people don't realize he was only 25 when he died. You know, I mean, imagine if he lived 10 more years to be 35 and the impact that he would have had. Green Lantern New 52 #29. So I have to live every day reminding myself, Green Lantern 18, that his death did not die in vain. And I say this for all of our kind of like figurehead leaders, going back to like, you know, JFK and Robert Kennedy and Malcolm or Martin, or, you know, any of these leaders that were assassinated and that were just here to really do good for the world. Green Lantern 32. We can't let their death die in vain, meaning that we have to always remember what they stood for, and we have to allow ourselves to be better people and better human beings, and not just in a selfish way, not just for ourselves, but for our communities, right? And even though this is a comic book channel, Green Lantern 26. You guys probably can see that if you watch my channel, I use this platform to allow myself to have some type of responsibility to do that. And if you look at what comic books stand for, and I talked about this in my Chadwick, my Chadwick Pass, and I talked about him in that live stream, Green Lantern number 30. This was an individual that had a very similar comment to my favorite Tupac comment about changing the world. It's about us being in positions to pass down to the next generation, to be the brains that will change the world. And he said everything that what you sacrifice for today is for those who come after. That's what Chadwick Boseman said. And it's almost like the same thing, but saying it differently, right? And here's another young, just amazing human being that used his platform to do so much more than create art. Green Lantern 7. So as we talk about art, comic books are a platform that have always, had substance to them to perpetuate the reflection of who we are as humans and within humanity. How do we challenge our humanity to be better human beings? So that's my mission. Action Comics 1023. All these are 50 cents, guys. All of these. That's why I love hitting up Boys of Summer. If you guys are ever in the area, Justice League Odyssey number 24. He actually didn't have too much in the 50 cent bin this time around, but look at all that I got still. And it was mostly DC stuff. Green Lantern Corps number 21. This is from 08. This is pre-New 52. Haven't been 50 cent shopping in a while. Green Lantern Corps number 47. Brightest Day. I didn't even see if I had these. I didn't even check my CLZ app. I was just saying, I haven't been here in like 7 months. I want to support them. Just stack up some 50 cent and dollar books. If I already have them, oh well, maybe I'll give them away in a contest or something. Green Lantern Season 2, number 6. Interesting. I know I don't have most of them because I have a visual memory, photographic memory, and I'm pretty good at being able to see a book and knowing if I have it or not. Green Lantern, number 19. Ooh, look at this cover. This is cool. This is a New 52. Cool, huh? Cool stuff. Alright, I did buy a few cover price new books. I got my Bounty Hunter number 1. Now, I did have Bounty Hunter number 1, but it was the Empire variant, Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary variant, so I wanted to get the standard cover just to start reading this run. Oh, this is my son's too. He got the Ninja Turtle Power Ranger series. He loves Power Rangers. And we all love Ninja Turtles in this house, for sure. How to get some Celestial Messiah. This just looked really cool going into the Empire saga. Found that to be looking very interesting. I missed out on this one. I don't know how, but Batman The Adventures Continues, number 1. And I'm assuming, like, let's take the, I don't know what kind of variant this is or what's going on. It's the only one they had. But let's see if it, yep, it does have the standard cover inside. So this is cool because I can actually do some artwork on that cover. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that right up there for now. Let's see, and these were also, well, I believe these were, I think these two were $2. So I got Amazing Spider-Man number 683. I needed a few of these to fill some holes. This fly is still buzzing around in here. So for those that watch the Comic Book Canon show on Friday night, and if you haven't subscribed to our Comic Book Canon YouTube, go check us out. Comic Book Canon, that's Canon with 2 N's. Live show every Friday night at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. This fly was buzzing around the whole time, and I made myself I have it right here, Comic Supply fly swatter. And there was 2 of them. I got one of them, but I was like swatting around on the show, and I didn't come out here really yesterday, and this fly is still buzzing around in here. I'm about to get him. All right, then we got another Amazing Spider-Man number 696. Boom, really cool cover. Leading up to that awesome 700. And lastly, guys, another dollar book is Action Comics number 652. There we go, guys. That was my Boys of Summer in-person comic book haul. It's so interesting that we have to throw the in-person in there in these crazy times, but I'm glad that I was able to get out and support one of my local shops. Yeah, so I got my son was able to get some books. This was my little guy too. My oldest has been reading a lot of the Marvel Unlimited comicsology stuff, and you know, I've gotten him a few like used trade paperbacks off of Amazon, but I'm glad that my little guy was able to, you know, dig through some crates and pull a couple books out. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna turn this, shut this video down and go swat this fly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Leave some comments below. I love hearing from each and every one of you. Take care. Have a good rest of your weekend. And until next time.